All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to leaders, teachers of Israel to rule well. Salutations and blessings to the whole elect. Pushing this word sincerity and truth. Risking our lives to do so. It's your brother Power Allah. Out here once again to preach the gospel that we're commanded to do here in these last days. And we are in the last days. Contrary to popular belief, all the things that were written in the Bible are coming to pass. It's called prophecy. And prophecy is jumping off the pages. If you sleeping under a rock, I don't know what to tell you. Because your beloved America is finna be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles in this place. And you people are thinking like, oh, I could wait and I could do whatever and I could get the bag and all that. You ain't got much time. That's why the Lord sent out his prophets to cause his people to repent. But 2/3 of you people ain't gonna do it. You're just not gonna do it. You're gonna keep on playing dumb, thinking like you got plenty of time. But you see, the world is changing, and it's changing for the worse, and it's not gonna get better. You know, you got wars, rumors of wars, like the scriptures say, and we bring it up week in and week out. So just gonna jump right into it. This is Jeremiah 28:8. And it reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against great countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. So the Lord always sent his prophets out to warn you people on what's to come. And don't let this war fool you. You know, this war between that state of Israel over there is not real. And over here in America, which is Babylon the Great, against Iran, which are the Persians. Don't mistake that as World War III. That's not World War III. Those are just wars and rumors of wars, because that's a setup for them to bring in the MOTB, which is the mark. And they're going to cause all you people to get it, because they setting it up to where it's a blockade, ain't nothing coming in, no oil, no fertilizer, nothing. It's a big setup. Because this devil wants to implement a new world order. He want to get away with paper currency. He want the whole planet to go digital. That's the plan. That's to get total control over the people. That means you can't do what the hell you want to do. They don't like that. They don't like poor people. What they believe is goyim means that you're nothing. You subhuman. They want you as slaves. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. You're just a goddamn slave. And they're going to do it. Because you people are dead sleep. You're not awake. Because if you was awake, you'd be in an uproar and you would overthrow this system that they have. But you're not. You cool with the system because they gave you a few goodies. But all that's finna change. Because now you're going to have to beg and plead for the little crumbs that they give you. And they're not going to give it to you unless you comply totally. You're going to have to bow down to the beast. Period. That's what's coming. So you people need to wake up, stop running around trying to have a good time, trying to find something to get into. What you need to get into is the scriptures and find a man of the Lord that's on these street corners trying to tell you something. Because the Lord is looking out for his people, but his people are laden with iniquity. You know, they just down to do bad. They don't want to listen. All they want to do is party and bullshit. and bitch and moan and complain when the things happen. But it's too late. The time is now. The time of repentance is now, not later. You don't have all kind of time because this thing is speeding up. We in 2026 and we didn't know that you was gonna be this in this type of situation. You know, because the Strait of Hormuz been shut down for a couple of months now, and it ain't showing up yet, but it's about to show up to where it's going to be a lot of shortages on everything. People gonna start bum rushing these stores, trying to get things that they need, and it ain't gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot of sedition amongst men, like the scriptures say in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. You know, these words are faithful and true. You know, see, when I was lost and didn't know nothing, I thought the Bible. I knew the Bible was real, but I didn't know the depths of it until the Lord opened my eyes and gave me the ears to hear the prophets speak. You know, I was like, damn, man, people need to get on this. But it's not meant for everybody. You know, no matter how hard you try, just because the Lord opened your eyes up, don't mean He's opened up your family's eyes or your friend or your loved ones. The Lord might not have salvation slated for them. And that's just the way it is. You can't get mad. You can't question the Lord. The Lord does what He wants. You just better be glad the Lord chose you if you in this truth and you doing the best you can, keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, and you got faith and you believe that He is and He will deliver. That's all you can do. And then do what the Lord requires for you to do. Once you learn this truth, you got to go out and preach. No matter whether they hear or forbear. No matter if nobody's listening or not. The Lord sees your works. You know? And you have to believe that. You know? Even if you got to come out here by yourself. You know what you're doing. You know that you're getting the blood off your hands and you doing what's pleasing to the Lord. That's all you have to worry about. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. You came in this world by yourself. You're going to leave by yourself. Can't nobody give you salvation. You can't give nobody salvation. All you could do is spread the gospel that we commanded to do. That's all He asks. You do your part, the Lord going to do His part. That's it. Simple as that. That's a fair and just power that we dealing with. You know? So just do your part. Don't be discouraged on, you won't have nobody with you and you don't think the Lord is listening and this, that, and the other. No, you just got to keep plugging away. And you're going to see little things that the Lord's going to do for you, man. Because the Lord is always right on time. Just when you need Him, He shows up for you. Believe that. Let's see. We go here. Let me go. Revelation 1 and 3. It says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things that are written therein. For the time is at hand." See, the time is at hand now. Everything is coming to pass. The Lord is revealing everything in front of you. The Lord is revealing the false prophet. You know, he's being revealed. The man of sin is being revealed right in front of you. Look at Trump. He don't know whether he's coming or going. The Lord got his mind so twisted up and jacked up. He don't know what he's doing. And it's beautiful to see that the whole world is panicking because this loose cannon is in office And he might just do any goddamn thing. You know? He might do anything. So we in them times now, man. That not that time. It's not time to be playing around. Stop acting foolish, thinking that this is how it is. No, this is divine intervention going on. The Lord is doing a mighty work on this planet. He got everything in motion. He got Gog, Magog, everything is flowing in motion. You know, he got the synagogue of Satan drawing this country into wars. Just like the scriptures say, it's remarkable on how on point the Lord is, and this been written thousands of years ago. You know, and everything is coming to pass. This is Matthew 24. I start at 3. And he said at the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, Salakia, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So the disciples, which later became apostles, was asking the Lord, when will these things come? You know, because they want the kingdom right now. They've been fighting, scratching, clawing, following the Lord wherever he went. You know, dropping everything and following the Lord. They did all that. You know, so now they sat down and was like, hey, Lord, when will these things come? When will the end of the world come? When will all these things come? When is the sign of you going to come back and all that? Then the Lord said, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And look out here. Everything is deception. The devil is running rampant. That's why the Lord said, don't take heed, let no man deceive you. It's just full of men out here deceiving. You know? So the Lord said, take heed. Don't let nobody deceive you in thinking that this ain't the way. You ain't in the truth. This ain't that, and that ain't this, and all that. Hey, when you found the truth, don't compromise it. You know? Don't start second guessing what you know, hearing this and hearing that. You stay loyal to the teachers, leaders, and teachers that taught you. Don't be second guessing. You know what's going on. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. So a lot gonna come like they the anointed, like they the Messiah, and they way is the right way. A lot of people gonna come that way, but you got to figure it out. You know, you have to know the name on what's the call on. You know, and you know it ain't what it says in the Bible, because that's written in English. He didn't have it. He had a Hebrew name. That the Jesus is a Greek transliteration. That's not his name. You need to know his name, the Hebrew name that the Lord gave him. You know, and that ain't even Hebrew. So you know that's wrong. First of all, the letter J wasn't invented until the 1600s. You know? So that possibly couldn't be his name. The Lord walked the earth a little over 2,000 years ago. So you know that ain't it. So it's time to do that critical thinking that you were supposed to learn. But you didn't learn that here in Babylon. They always taught you how to be a servant, you know. That's the whole school system here in Babylon, is to be a slave, you know, to be a convict, you know. And that's why they got that the industrial prison system set up for you to go. All they do is tell you how to go from station to station. You do this for an hour, go here, go here, break, go here, go there, lunch, 30 minutes, right back at it. And that's your life. They got you in a hamster wheel, just doing the same thing over and over again. That's all you learn. Because the stuff that they did teach you don't even apply to what you're going to do. You know? You taking all these so-called courses on things that not even profitable. You know? You got people that go to get higher learning, but they think it's higher learning, spending thousands of dollars, and the knowledge and the degree is worthless. Don't get them nowhere. Can't even find a job. Can't even do what they was being taught, so-called taught to do. So it's all deception. Be not deceived. That's part of the deception. That's why you gotta come out of this system so you don't be deceived. This is Matthew 24, verse 5. For many, no. Salakia. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So you hearing about all the wars, rumors of wars. You know this time is ticking. That's how you know the Lord is giving you all the signs to let you know what's going on. And so for you to prepare. Because if you don't prepare for the Lord, getting your garments unspotted, you're going to be left out. Straight up. So the Lord, you seeing all these signs that the Lord is giving, you got to prepare. It's time to come on in. Stop playing around. Some of you already lived a life of folly. How much folly do you want? You should be tired of it by now. You didn't try everything. You didn't try the Big Mac, the Whopper, the Nacho Bel Grande. You didn't done it all. And now it's unprofitable. The food is not real. The air is polluted. The waters are polluted. You can't even drink the water. They make you pay for water. And it ain't even nothing but really tap water what you paying for. You thinking you paying for some clean water? No, it's the same water that come out your goddamn faucet. All they do is just run it through their system, and that's it. Got you thinking that you getting something good. Then they put it in plastic, which is poison. So the Lord, don't let that get you flustered. because the Lord said you're going to eat poison and live. So don't get so wrapped up into, you go here and get this and get that. Look, as long as it's not unlawful, you good. If you got faith and you believe in the Lord, He gonna see you through. So don't get all, you got some brothers, man, they just go, they go too far with it. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that it's lawful. You know, you're not eating what the Lord told you not to eat. And you'll know that in Leviticus 11th chapter. It tells you what you can eat and what you can't eat. You know, Christians, they believe that the Lord died so you could do whatever the hell you want. That defeats the purpose of even having the law. You know, the Lord knows you can't. The law is not going to save you, but you can't live a lawless life. You got to do what you can. You know, and whatever you can't, the Lord knows. He knows what situation He got you in. Don't be worrying about all that. You know. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So you seeing that, and the famine is coming. They doing it right in front of your face right now, by the blockade of the strait. You know, that's the bringing the famine. That's why they're planning all this shit out. They're going back and forth, talking a lot of nonsense. But the goal is to keep that thing locked down long enough to cause total mayhem in the world. That's what they want. It's going to be a worldwide famine. Everything is not moving. You know, you can't get to the place where it needs to be. So what's going to happen? It's going to be a famine. That you can't get the fertilizer to grow crops. You know, you're not getting the oil to supply all your needs. But what's concerned with oil. So they manufacturing this famine that's coming, and you just wait and see. And me speaking as a man, I think all hell gonna break loose this summer. If the things keep going the way they going, trust me, by this summer, all hell should break loose. You know, and that's when they're gonna bring in. They're gonna lock everything down because things is getting out of hand. People are uprising, going berserk, doing whatever the hell they want to do, and they're gonna lock everybody back down because they already did an experiment with the pandemic. They done already experiment. They know they can lock you down and you won't say nothing. They can lock you down and y'all cool with it. So they already ran that psyop on you, and then they're finna do it again. But this time it's gonna be, they're gonna use this war to cause it. You know, the war caused high inflation and all this stuff. So what now? To get society back intact, we gotta lock everybody down. They're gonna issue martial law. The military gonna be roaming around, and you're gonna be under martial law. And then the way they're gonna fix it is because the economy gonna collapse, and they're gonna issue out those CBDCs, a central bank currency. It's going to be digital, and you're going to have to receive that mark, like it was said in Revelation, the 13th chapter. It's coming. If you don't have the eyes to see, then the Lord He ain't dealing with you, because it's plain to see what's going on. It's plain, you know. This ain't all happened by happen chance. This has been planned out for years. They've been planning this stuff for years. And now they implementing it. You know? Because he went to war just out of the blue. It wasn't no threat of an attack or nothing like that. They got the word, and now they implementing the new world order that they trying to push. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. These are all the beginning. We're in the beginning stages of a total collapse. We're in the beginning stages of it. And it's going to happen. You know? That's why we come out here week in and week out to try to jog you people's, you Israelites' mind to get you to prepare, to get you straight. Because this is your only hope. Your only hope is in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's the only one to get you. You can't prep your way out of this. You know, your money is going to be worthless. You know, because you're going to have to receive what they want you to have. You got all this money and shit, that they're not taking that. And you're going to have receipts to even, for them to even acknowledge the shit that you got. They ain't dealing with it. That's why if you got the faith, you're gonna leave this world behind, like the movies, the title of that movie. You gotta leave this world behind and start living. You're gonna be living as a pilgrim, just like the scripture said. You're gonna have to be a nomad, just wandering from place to place, staying out the way, staying out the cut. You know, and the Lord guiding you and protecting you. That's the faith that I'm gonna have in that day. I ain't worried about it because I'm not taking none of it. You know, because that's what gonna be the solution. You're gonna have to take what they got if you want to continue in this society. Period. Ain't no getting around it. That it is what it is. Let's skip down to verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So, because iniquity, that's multiple sin, sin on top of sin on top of sin, is going to be prevalent throughout Babylon. The love of many gonna wax cold. You gonna get into it with your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, family, friends, whatever. Everybody heart gonna turn cold. You gonna ask for some food and they ain't gonna give you none. It's gonna get that bad. It's gonna get that bad. You know it. See the Lord pricked that dog's ear. He heard that preaching. You know. So all the things you think you're doing, it's gonna come to naught. You're gonna try to thinking you got a friend in that day. He ain't trying to hear it. Actually, he gonna try to steal what you got. That's what you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out like, damn, this motherfucker coming after my shit. Yeah, sure is coming after it. You know. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. So you got to endure all this. That's what's coming. Famine, you know, World War III, the MOTB, you know, all that. You're going to have to endure all that in order to be saved by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, because the servant is not greater than the master. The master got up on that cross and died for your sins, so you're gonna have to do that in return. You might have to give up your life. You know, this is why this is important. It is time to get your faith built up now, because you might have to lose your life. You know, but it's better to do it in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. That's when the end is coming. Since we've been out here week in and week out, started with Abba Bivens back in the late 60s, this world been on a steady decline, going down, you know. And it started with the prophets, because Christianity been out for centuries. But as soon as the true prophets, the true men of the Lord came out on these street corners, then the end started coming. Now you seeing prophecy every day unfolding right in front of you. That's how powerful the Lord is. His word is so powerful, it's enduring, and it's standing the test of time. So, I don't know what to tell brothers, man. You better get it while the getting is good. Let's see. Verse 19. And the Lord said, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. So the Lord is warning you, hey, you better stop having these children. You better stop having these children, because they're going to become a burden to you. Because the way the world is going, you can't afford anything. You know? All that's going to do is it's going to hinder your ability to maneuver as the Lord have you moving around. So if you don't have any children, it's best not to have any. You know? This ain't the time to be all in love and thinking you making plans and trying to have a family and all that. This ain't the time. Now, if you got it, good, because the Lord, if you're doing the work that the Lord told you to, then the Lord's going to protect you and your household. But if you're not, they just food for the slaughter. You and your children. You know? So, if you're not a repentant soul, you ain't got nothing coming. You ain't got nothing coming but death and destruction. You know? So we come out here week in and week out for you to receive this gospel. You know? We don't do this for nothing. We do it for our salvation. You know? Because we work out our salvation with fear and trembling. You know? But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on a Sabbath day. Because, you know, it's tough in the winter to move around. And during the Shabbat, you can't do no servile work in that day. So you have to sit still, pretty much. You can't be doing all kind of stuff on the Shabbat. So you don't want your flight to be that. You got to hope and pray that it's not on the Shabbat. It's not in the winter. So now, we're in a time now, if things were to happen, you can flee and not be burdened with the winter, you know? Because a lot of people don't make it through the winter. That's a rough time to try to make it through the winter, you know, with nothing, you know? For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. So this a time is like no other. That's what we going through. This time of tribulation that we finna go through is gonna be like no other. Because now you dealing with technology. So it's gonna really be crazy. You know, they got all these weapons, and Esau got all these toys that he wanna play with. He got a lot of things in store for you people, man. You know, and the Lord is revealing it. You know, he came out with the, you know, they going to the moon shit, circling the moon. Don't nobody believe that bullshit no more because the technology is too good. We see all the glitches and all the bullshit now. Nobody don't even pay attention to that shit. But see, back in you know, back in the day, they got away with it because you believe what you saw. You know, you didn't understand that was they basically was making a goddamn movie with that moon landing. It was a bunch of bullshit, you know, and they can't get that off now. And then they try. The Lord really mocked them. I think it was in '84, I believe, when they had a so-called shuttle mission, and they launched the rocket and it blew up. And all those astronauts got blew up and shit. You know, that was the Lord mocking them. You thinking you up here lying and shit, saying you did this and did that. You ain't did a motherfucking thing. You ain't did a goddamn thing. Lying ass. So the Lord blew that shit up. And every time you see a rocket going up there, once it gets into the firmament, it just blows up. Because you can't get past the firmament that the Lord created. He created that split. You know, you can't go into the heavens. You know? But these devils want you to believe that they did that. Knowing damn well, see, people don't understand that the moon is a light. Just like the sun is a light, the moon is a lesser light. So it's hot on the moon. How the hell you gonna land on the moon when it's thousands upon thousands of degrees hot? It might not be as hot as the sun, but you can't land no fucking goddamn space, so-called shuttle or whatever on that. But these people was so goddamn dumb that they believed in that shit. I knew that was fucking bullshit. When I was going on, I'm like, okay. If you did go to the goddamn moon, why you ain't been back? I'm 56. So you mean to tell me you went to the moon and you ain't did it in 56 years? 56, 57 years? That's some bullshit. Because if you went to the moon, by now it'd have been goddamn like going like catching a goddamn trolley, going to the moon. Where you going tonight? Going to the moon, man. That's how easy it should be now. If you could done it 50 plus years ago, when there wasn't hardly no technology. The fuck you had black and white TVs and shit. You mean to tell me they been to the goddamn moon and you can't go back? They didn't give you a lie. Well, we lost the papers or whatever the fuck Esau lied. I'm like, that's why the Lord is revealing this goddamn devil. You know? Everybody want to believe everything they hear or what they see. You got to be careful with that. You got technology. You know, they got a green screen, man. They can make it look like anything, man. You know, you have to verify that. Yeah, I see that, but I don't know if that's real or not. You know, if I ain't there, I don't believe it. You know. Verse 22. And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the Lord is looking out for his elect. That's why the days are speeding up. The Lord is shortening these days. Days go by so fast, it's like a whirlwind. Weeks are just going by like days. You know? We are already in 2022. I remember the pandemic wasn't just that long ago. We 6 years past that. Which was some bullshit, but you know, that's just Esau. But it had our people jammed up, taking a jab, you know, taking something that you know it probably ain't good for you, because this devil have a history of experimenting on our people, because they baited for our people to take first. You know something's up. When has Esau, so-called white man, ever did anything good for our people? Never. So now, all of a sudden, it's a pandemic. We looking out for y'all first. So, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all are going to be the first in line. What? Hell no. And our people, the sheep that they are, because they blind as fuck, they went and done this shit. And now they all jacked up. They ain't gonna tell you because they're ashamed of what they done, knowing that wasn't the thing to do. They got people shaking like the movie on the movie Beach Street. Motherfuckers doing the boogaloo and shit. You know, they can't control their nerves. None of that shit, man. Probably at times they body go numb and shit. I done seen videos of people that's fucked up. And there ain't nothing you can do about it, because they wrote it into law that you couldn't sue them. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, all that bullshit. They covered their ass because they knew they was giving you fucking poison. You know what I'm saying? They gave you poison, you injected it in your damn body, and now you regret it. You know, maybe you get around the men of the Lord, and the Lord might heal you, because the Lord is going to give his men spiritual power to heal. You know, and that's going to really cause you people to repent. Some of you, you know, but it's still going to be 2/3 is just not going to get down with it. They just going to believe what they want to believe, and they're going to do what they want to do. So ain't no hope for them. So we not out here for them, you know. We out here for the hopeful elect, the people that searching for something. You know, they know something's wrong, and their spirit is convicted on trying to find out the truth. And the Lord is presenting it. All you gotta do is come and eat. The Lord got his servants out there to give you the meal to eat. You just gotta take it. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. We don't ask you for money. We don't. You want to know this truth? You gotta. Well, let me rephrase that. It's some of you false prophets that are for hire. Y'all hirelings. You know what I'm saying? You know, using the Lord to make merchandise of the Lord, and the Lord gonna deal with you people. I don't like to get into a lot of that, because the Lord see your ass. It's well documented that you people that doing that, you're gonna get it. You know, the Lord got you. He got you covered. You know, so it ain't for me. I ain't gotta harp on it every week on what you guys are doing, and you teaching things that you ought not to be teaching and whatnot. You know, saying that the RFID chip is not the mark. It's the mark. How else you going to be able to buy and sell? You know, it ain't sin. You know, that don't even make no damn sense. You know. It's Revelation 13. And 15. I start at 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many as I will not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. So a lot of you is going to fall victim to worshiping the beast. It's just that simple. You know, you love this system. You're trying to come up in this system, but the system keeps failing. Every time you get a leg up, the Lord knocks your ass down. You know, you can't prosper here. Only if you serve Satan. That's your only way of prospering in this system. You gotta do some vile things in order to get the bag and all that. You gotta do some treacherous things. Verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, which is the RFID chip, that they're going to make everybody take. Believe that. It's coming. In their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man shall buy or sell save he that have the mark or the number of the name of the beast or the number of his name. So the Lord's going to cause all you that's on the left hand side. That's what the Lord's going to do. All that you the unfaithful, the non-believers that don't think it's the mark of the beast, the Lord going to have you take it. Because you want to keep your house, you want to keep your car, you want to keep your job. And the only way to do that is take the mark. He's setting it all up right in front of your face. It's remarkable that a lot of people don't see it. They just think this is just, the way the world is or whatever. They don't believe that this is a spiritual thing going on. They really don't. They don't think this is a spiritual thing that's happening. But when it does, you're going to say, damn, that guy that was out there preaching and teaching, he was telling the right thing. You just walk right past. Didn't give a shit. That's how the Lord gets down. What you think is foolish is heavenly sent. That's what you people don't understand, that the Lord works the way like that. He's not going to come to you. You're going to have to do some work. You're going to have faith. You're going to have real intelligence to see who has the truth and who don't. Because most people like to look down on what they call bums or whatever, or people that look like they don't have much. This society has trained you to look at them as low class, nobodies, and it's going to be to your death, you know, because if you saw the Lord 2,000 years ago, he didn't come on a white shiny horse, looking majestic. He came lowly on a donkey. You would have been you'd have disregarded the Lord. How you people act, especially you women. If y'all don't see a dude shining, you get nothing. So why would you want to? That's why I don't understand why so many videos on, men and women trying to get together. In this dispensation of time in history, that's the last thing you should be worrying about. Is hooking up with a woman or hooking up with a well, you women need to hook up with a man of the Lord, but why would you be worrying about a woman that ain't nothing, and you see them every day, totally revealing, speech is just ungodly. I mean, why are you worried about getting with a woman? All a woman can do now is destroy you. In this day and age, all she can do is destroy you. But that's all you see is videos for that. And that's Satan working his magic, getting you caught up on things that you ought not to be. All her ways are just or ill. It's Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err, and destroy the ways of the past. See, these women cause you to err. So why be bothered with a woman right now? This is not the time for it. The Lord's showing you all these signs of the end of this age. When you say end of the world, the average Christian, the average Joe Blow, thinking the world gonna blow up. No. This is the end of an age. This is the end of the so-called white man, the so-called Chinese man, the so-called Arab man is going to go down. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. This is what the Lord is showing you through all this. All the things that we're seeing right now, he is ushering in the kingdom of heaven. Where the house of David going to be set up, and his men going to be under that. But Yahweh Shai ruling. That's what's being set up. Not no goddamn, but this world is trying to get you to believe that women are your equal. You can't do nothing to a woman. You gotta do as she say, and if she's not happy, then you're not a man, and your job is to make her happy. The Lord made her a helpmeet. Her job is to help you So you're happy. That's the only way the household going to be successful and ran right. She has to be in her role. She has to be in order. She's out of order thinking that you got to go through her and you got to run everything by her and all that bullshit. That's out of order. These women are completely out of order, you know? And if you fall under that, then you're just going to fall by the wayside. I don't know what else to tell you. This is Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So the Lord is telling you to stay faithful. You know, a lot of things are going to happen. It's going to be total chaos out here. There's going to be sedition amongst men. The love of many going to wax cold, but you're going to have to stand tall through it all. You know, in order to receive that crown of life, that's the only way. Because it ain't going to be no easy road. Jacob's trouble is here, and it's only going to intensify. We are in Jacob's trouble. It's just at a low level right now. But it's going to pick up real soon, you know, especially when the economy crash and all hell break loose and they call martial law and all this, and you're going to have that sedition and people running up in people's homes, and it's going to be a lot of death, a lot of mayhem. It's just going to be total chaos. So the Lord, you're going to have to endure through all that, you know. And you might lose your life, but it's going to be worth it because you're going to inherit the kingdom. You're going to be the first on the chariot when the Lord comes back. You're going to be riding in that chariot, welcoming your brothers and your sisters that did the right thing or is part of the elect coming aboard, you know. And we praising the Lord and everything, man. Watching this place be destroyed, because that's when the missiles gonna come. Those missiles that the Lord had these devils make, they're gonna be used. They're gonna be set off. Thinking they trying to get at the Lord, but they're gonna be launching them missiles on themselves. You know? You know? Esau didn't know he was setting up his own destruction. All that was for his own destruction. You know? Let's see. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this come to pass, lo, it will come, then they will know that a prophet had been among them. See, that's when you're going to know that the prophets was out here. Those were the men that was sitting up, wearing those old tattered up garments, look like dresses or whatever. They were the ones. They was telling us the whole time. They was telling us for decades, get right. The Lord is on his way back. You got to change your ways, become a new creature. You know? Because this is it. You know? So I'm going to close out. Give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakah Kadash. Double honors to the teachers of Israel to rule well. Salutations for the hopeful elect. Shalom.